Monday, July 10th, 2017. I'm your host, Sarah Mantle. We have a great show in store for you today. First up, we're going to learn more about summer math requirements for Barnstable High School students. Then we'll chat with Sturgis Library Director Lucy Loomis about some upcoming events to celebrate the library's 150th anniversary. And finally, we'll find out what's happening at Cape Cod Community College with Communications Director Michael Gross. All of that on this episode of Barnstable Today. But first, let's go ahead and get a look at today's top headlines. Governor Charlie Baker's Council to Address Aging in Massachusetts wants to hear from residents. The group's hopes to hear ideas about how to make Massachusetts the most livable state for people of all ages. To do that, they will host a listening session at the Barnstable Senior Center Tuesday, July 25th, from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. The event is free and, of course, open to the public. All are encouraged to attend. The Planning Board will consider a zoning amendment that would allow Total Athletics Cape Cod to build a $12 million sports complex in Hyannis. The zoning amendment would create special site clearing and stormwater requirements for sports and recreation facilities. The Planning Board meets tonight at 7 in the Town Hall hearing room. That meeting, of course, will air live right here on Channel 18. People of Action, the Barnstable Police Department, and the Town of Barnstable will host the second Barnstable Unity Day at the Hyannis Village Green this month. The event is intended to bring together the community and the local police department in a free celebration. The event is open to all and will include free music, food, and activities for all ages. Please bring your own chairs and blankets. Barnstable Unity Day will be held Friday, July 28th from 4 to 7. Well, kids won't have to go hungry this summer. That's thanks to a new program being offered at the Hyannis Youth and Community Center. The Food for Kids program will run from June 26th through August 25th. The program will offer free lunch from 12:15 to 1 p.m. and a free snack from 3 to 3:30 every Monday through Friday. Assistant Recreation Director John Gleason and Youth Center Manager Mark Bordley worked very hard to bring that program to the HYCC. For more information, contact the Hyannis Youth and Community Center. Well, up next, we chat with Math Curriculum Coordinator Tina Crook. So Tina, it's summertime. Kids feel like this is their free vacation where they can just lounge around and enjoy, but we all know that it's really important that they continue to read as well as practice their math skills. Tell me why it's so important from an educator's perspective that these students continue to work hard.
Sure. So what happens is when you get the continuity of the entire school year and then, the kids, they worked hard after, final exams just happen. A lot of our grade subjects have the MCAS test. They're done. So they're ready to pack it up and just, be done until September. What we found is that interruption in education and especially practicing with skills mathematically, it's not that they forget everything, it's just it takes a little bit longer for them to recall what they learned from the previous school year. So by allowing us to assign them summer work, it gives them a little bit of practice over the summer so that when they return to school in the fall, they're ready to go. Not hit the ground running right away. The teachers are certainly incorporating some review, but it's less time of review so that they can get to the current standards that have to be learned for that year.
Yeah, and it would be easy, especially with math. I mean, there's just something a little bit different about math.
Absolutely.
It is so easy to just get out of the habit and just forget it all. So I can see how it would be beneficial for a teacher and the rest of the students to sort of have everyone keep practicing and make that review time a little bit less. What kind of assignments can they expect? I mean, we see this happen so many times with school reading. So kids will get through the summer and the last 2 weeks of school, they'll be trying to read 3 novels.
Right. And
so
that is
we really don't want that to happen, right?
Absolutely. And I suggest that the students a couple things. I suggest that they don't do the homework assignment today in one day. The kids, when they moved up to Step Up Day at the high school, all the math teachers were able to show the students how to access the summer assignment, kind of went over what are the key concepts of the assignment, where to focus in, and then, hopefully that they would spend time throughout the summer doing a little bit at a time. I will say the assignments are not designed to overtake their summer. It's designed to give them a little bit of practice. The way they were created is the groups of teachers who teach like courses got together and identified what are the key concepts that they must have. And then what the teachers did is they created probably about 50 to 100 problems for them to work on over the summer. And the students can access it online, and within each assignment there's embedded videos that give guided instruction, YouTube videos, Khan Academy videos. So the students, if they're struggling, solving multi-step equations, they're not on their own. They can actually click the link to that to give them a little bit of instruction as well.
I know my high school student uses YouTube videos all the time to help with math. It's kind of amazing now that they have access to these resources. Would you recommend students try and work on this like maybe once a week, set aside a little bit of time, or are you hoping that they look at it a couple times a week?
Well, I think once a week, and I always tell, some of the parents call, and the parents, they don't want the kids to procrastinate. They find if they wait until August, that's procrastinating. For me, I kind of want them to give themselves an opportunity to maybe forget a little bit, so that then they have to go back and take notes again, recall that information, watch a video. Because if they do everything in June, then now August comes and they still need all that reteaching and such.
That almost defeats the purpose of the summer work if they're doing it right outside of school.
And it's funny because I can watch the hits on the website to see how many times when students are accessing that work, and we get a lot of hits in June, and then we get a lot of hits in August.
Yeah, late August. I'm
for sure.
So as parents, we can encourage our kids, hey, remember, I know you have that
Absolutely.
math assignment you should be looking at a little bit frequently. So hopefully encouraging them to spread it out a bit.
Sure.
And every student in Barnstable High School, if you're taking
Absolutely.
a math class, and whether you're 8 through 12, no matter what grade, you've got that assignment.
Absolutely. So what happened was 3 years ago, I proposed to the math department at BHS. We were struggling to fit in all of the standards and all of the courses in the set amount of time, especially with the increased amount of testing. And that's when we were going through all the PARCC testing. And so we figured the standards, we still have to teach the standards, but we feel though in less time due to the need for all the review that has to take place in the beginning of the year. So what was quite funny is we created this, the teachers put it together, and then there was probably 4 classes that didn't have summer work. And the students and parents were calling, well, why doesn't my student have summer work? Everyone else does. And let me tell you, we had it online by the end of the month before the summer vacation started. So
yeah, and it's nothing too taxing, so
No.
they should be able to handle it, no problem, no stress. Are teachers going to be like grading this work when it comes back?
Well, they're not grading the work. What they're doing is, and we kind of have a protocol for the beginning of the year because, we understand that students are going to struggle with certain concepts. These are students of all level, all background. Everyone has the same assignment, whether you're in an honors level course, a CP course, whether you have academic support. So we want it to be accessible to all students. What we do is usually the first day of school when the students come back, the teachers will review the assignment, take questions, let them work in small groups, check it off to see if it was attempted. We're not grading it for accuracy. We want to see the effort put in. The other benefit is the teachers don't have to wait 2 weeks into the school year to identify what weaknesses the students have. So we're able to identify within the first day or 2 of school what reteaching has to happen.
Wow,
Yeah.
such a great tool, I think, to help students and teachers as well. Is there anything that we didn't talk about that you think is important for parents or students to be aware of?
Well, just how they access it. Parents and students can access the summer assignment. I would suggest that students access the summer assignment, and it's located on the quick links on the Barnstable High School webpage. We also did provide students availability to copies in the main office, so if ever they can't get online access, I made several copies and kept them in a binder in the front office of the high school. They can access it through their local libraries, so there's plenty of opportunities. If their house is anything like my house, we're always out of printer ink. So I tell them, don't not do it. Just write out the problems on a piece of paper and hand them in. We're looking for effort and practice of skills. So, it doesn't have to be, on the documents provided as long as the problems are attempted.
Wow, I'm really glad to hear that. I'm not the only home that never has printer ink.
For sure.
Thank you for stopping by. Just one last quick question. When is the Barnstable High School office open during the summer?
I believe it's Monday through Wednesday until noon. So I want to say around 7:30 in the morning until noon. You can check their website to clarify that, though.
Wonderful. Thank you for stopping by
No
and telling us
problem.
everything we need to know about keeping up on our summer math skills. We really appreciate it.
Excellent. Thanks.
Our guest today, Tina Crook, she is the math curriculum coordinator for grades 6 through 12 for Barnstable Public Schools. Now we take a trip to the Sturgis Library where we're going to learn more about events celebrating the library's 150th anniversary. So Lucy, I know we were here not too long ago talking about all of the wonderful activities you have planned for the 150th anniversary of the Sturgis Library.
Right.
Very exciting. The activities keep coming. One thing I really wanted to talk to you about is the archaeological dig that took place in front of or around the Sturgis Library.
Right. Yep.
And as we know, this is the oldest building that houses a library in the country, so lots of historical things surrounding this building. How did that dig go, and was anything interesting found?
It went really well. They were here for 3 days. They found little shards of pottery. They found pieces of pipe. They found something called a frozen charlotte. I don't know if you know what that is, but they're these little porcelain doll things that people collected in the Victorian era based on a poem about a girl who died by freezing to death because she didn't wear her coat. So they were kind of like collecting Beanie Babies in the late 1800s. They dug down to the level of the 1600s, and so the archaeologist Craig Chartier, who's coming to speak with us on July 18th at 6:30, he's going to be talking about that dig and previous ones that he did. We have some of the artifacts that he had found in an earlier dig downstairs on display right now. So.
Really cool too. I got to see photos of the dig,
Right.
And it was really neat. Some volunteers came to help out. Staff members were helping. So really a cool process
Yes.
to see that take place. And I love history. So what was it like for you to have that happening all around the library?
Well, it was really, everybody was really engaged in the whole process. People walking by on the street really wanted to come and look. They thought, oh, maybe I'd like to do that. Marcella Kari, our staff member, actually worked with Craig at Taylor Bray Farm, so she had had experience doing it before. When they were here before doing the attic and the basement, we'd just check in with them, and they'd get very excited and bring something up to show us. So
well, it is
great.
so exciting, and of course, can't wait to hear Craig talk about the entire process and
Right.
the multiple digs. So do we need to sign up for that event in advance before July 18th?
We ask that you register. You don't have to, but that helps us get a sense of how many chairs to put out. So
Great. Is there a cost to attend?
no, it's free.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
We love that word.
Free.
Yes.
And we try to make 99% of our programs free.
Yeah, you really do. I mean, and that's tough to do, I think, for a library, because as we know, you guys have to raise a lot of your own money.
We do. 60% of our budget is raised outside of municipal funding. So
Now, what are the ways that you do raise money if you aren't charging for these events and you have so many services for the public that you offer free of charge? How do you do that fundraising?
well, we have an annual appeal every year. We send out letters to our supporters and ask them to support us again, because that money goes to keeping the library open and paying the staff and buying materials. And then we have sales. We have an annual jewelry sale. We have a holiday sale. We have other events where people can buy things. Our bookshop raises a substantial amount of money from donated books and other materials. We have events. We have a great event coming up in August. It's our 150th Gala Anniversary Party. And it's August 13th and from 5 to 8. There is a cost. It's $50 a ticket. But it's our sort of our farewell to our 150th anniversary. And there's going to be great food, music, lots to drink, and a great silent auction. I think I talked to you before about our bookshelf project where people are taking old bookshelves and just a board basically and creating something out of it. And we have some of the ones on display right now. We'll have more in August.
Wonderful. And some of them are just gorgeous and so creative,
right.
That these individuals took a wooden board and made it into something really special.
Right. I mean, some people are doing art on the board. We had the students at the tech school make cornhole games out of the board, multiple boards. We had a man, the husband of one of our staff members, made a beautiful Parsons table. So a lot of different kinds of things.
Wow, how neat is that?
Yeah.
What a cool thing. And
so they'll
all
be
of this
auctioned off too.
And wonderful to raise money for the library.
Right.
So what a fun way to do that. You also have local authors coming all the time. Who do you have up next?
Actually, I don't think we have anybody scheduled for the summer. I think people, want to come and relax. So I'm hoping we can get that going again in the fall.
Wonderful.
We do have some kids stuff coming up too. There's a Pokemon group for ages, 5 to 10. It's a 5-week program. They do have to register for that, and it starts July 11th. We also have free lunch here after story time on Thursdays. It's for any child under the age of 18. It's provided by the YMCA, and you can come at around noontime and join everybody for lunch. So that's open to anybody who wants lunch, and it's free.
Wonderful. Well, thank you for taking the time out of your busy schedule to chat with us about all the wonderful things happening here at the Sturgis Library. We really appreciate it.
Thanks. Nice to have you.
And of course, our guest today, Library Director Lucy Loomis. Joining me now live on the phone, we have with us Cape Cod Community College Communications Director Michael Gross. Michael, such a busy time of year for Cape Cod Community College. Even though fall semester feels like a little bit far away, it is in fact not. We don't have too much time before the fall semester.
Absolutely not. And as amazing as it does seem, as we just celebrate the 4th of July, we're talking about September 5th starting the fall semester, and that's 6-7 weeks away at the most. And for people, that seems like forever, but in reality, for those who would really like to get back into college, it's time. If we take, and what's interesting is there are a fair number of people are doing just that. I'm sitting here this morning looking at my credit hours that people have signed up for already, and that first quick term where you can come in for 7 weeks and walk out with a 3-credit course, enrollment is up 203% this morning.
Wow.
People want to go to school and get the credits done, and we have a Q2, what we call our quick term 2, also that will follow in October. Matter of fact, it starts on Halloween. Already enrollment in Q2 is way up in that 200% range. We're just kind of trying to put the word out to people that it is time to prepare, and for those who, especially by the looks of what's going on this year, wait around to the last minute, they're really going to be disenfranchised. We're really worried about that. Our summer enrollment has been up 7 to 9%, which is great news. A lot of college kids here in the area coming and taking extra credits and then taking them back to where they're going in their 4-year schools. That's good. But it looks as though the fall is going to be extremely strong, and we don't want people left out. The best thing to do is to get online right now, take a look at what the credits they'd like to take, the courses you'd like to take, and come in, get the assessment done, make sure you're ready to go to school. We have numerous preparation courses that are free that we're putting up in both English and math, so that if you feel a little underprepared, we can get you ready to go. But I suppose it's strange that here I am yelling fall, fall, fall right now, but with a short time coming, it's really time to think about it.
Now, Michael, tell me a little bit more about quick term classes. So what does it mean to be quick term, and do you only offer quick terms in the summertime?
Well, no, and as a matter of fact, a quick term, if most think of people think of going to college from September through December, the traditional 15-week semester. And we do have a huge number of courses that run September through December. However, we have found that students really would like to get some of these credits done more quickly. They're working, they're trying to get credentials to move up in the workforce. Maybe they're trying to get a new job. They want this to happen faster than 15 weeks to go all the way through a class. And so we offer groups of courses that start in September and they end in October. Then we start another set that start in October and end in December. We call them our quick terms because you can get quick credits, at least by a measure against the full semester, in those groups. And in fact, they have been amazingly successful. We've offered them both fall, spring, and in summer in these short, intensive courses, for a number of years now, probably 4 or 5 years. And they become more and more and more successful. The interesting part is, so is online. For individuals who just are too busy to get into class, they're working, but they could go to school from 10 o'clock at night to midnight, and there are people who do that. We have over 1,000 people who take online or hybrid courses, and there are 200 or more who take exclusively online courses. There are so many different ways to come to college these days that traditional semester, Q terms, online, the hybrid course, which means you only come to class once in a while, the rest of the time it's all done online. There are so many ways that people want to come to school, and we're desperately trying to serve those needs.
Yeah, pretty amazing that Cape Cod Community College offers all of these programs in so many different formats. So whether you are interested in the quick term or looking for a hybrid or all online, so interesting to hear that you guys offer all of these services. And I want to go back, you mentioned the courses for individuals who are looking for help with math and maybe
Sure.
English. Some of these math classes are actually starting tonight. Who would these really be good for?
You know, these they are, and as a matter of fact, the first math refresher begins this evening, and we welcome anyone who needs or feels a little uncomfortable about their math skills. And you know, people find that math is a stumbling block. They feel they were never good at it. How can I come back to college because I can't do math? This is just going to be terrible. Well, in fact, our math group, our faculty, and our tutors have gotten together, and what they've done is created some refreshers, and to kind of help you remember everything from back to fractions and back to decimals, all the way up through basic algebra for those individuals who really need to get that ready if they're interested in coming to college. We have a number of people who really want to get into the healthcare professions, and more and more and more of the healthcare professions need some aspects of mathematics to work in them, from the figuring drugs and different kinds of numbers. And you really need some skill. So we're helping get those ready. Tonight we start a math refresher course. The workshop begins. I'm trying to pull it up right now. I think it's 5:30. There we go. It's 5 o'clock. It's over in our Wilkins, which used to be the South Building, 105. And we really welcome people to come in. It is for anyone who is planning to come to school and really feel they need some basic help.
And there's no charge for these.
No.
Help for math or English courses too, which is great.
No charges at all. Again, a little something you get back from your state tax dollar, if you will. And by the way, for those who would benefit from looking at algebra and maybe some more complex math, Wednesday night of this week, we're going to have a refresher for them. And these will go on straight through August. The thing I would suggest is people go to our website, type the word refresher in the little search box that you find in the top right, and boom, up comes a whole list of these. So we're trying to help people be prepared, be successful. We certainly don't want people coming to school and then finding all kinds of barriers to actually make it happen. So we're putting things in place to help people.
Love to hear that, and free of charge too,
Absolutely.
which makes it so much more accessible to everyone. So thank you, Michael, for joining us today. We really appreciate it, and of course, look forward to chatting with you again next week.
Fantastic. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Have a great day. Our guest today, Michael Gross, he's Cape Cod Community College Communications Director. Now let's go ahead and find out what's happening around town in today's community calendar. Well, you can grab your beach chair and your family and head down to Azleton Park on Hyannis Harbor for a summer concert featuring Haywired. Haywired is a rocking country band that will perform current hits and country classics from 6 to 7 tomorrow night. This Saturday is Osterville Village Day. The Village Day Parade will kick off at 1 p.m. Participants can line up at the Catholic Church at 12:30. Osterville Village Day will also include carriage rides, a farmer's market, a children's fair, a wine tasting, and so much more. Osterville Village Day begins this Saturday at 10 a.m. and goes until 3. Here's a look at this week's board, committee, and commission meeting schedule. Well, thanks for joining us today. We're going to be back tomorrow with another great show for you. On tomorrow's show, we will talk with DPW Director Dan Santos. We'll also chat with Chief of Police Paul McDonald and so much more. For Barnstable Today, I'm Sarah Mantle.